Okay, D major. Back to D major. Ready, go. Alright, now how's everybody feeling about their D major? Everything coming in for the most part? Yeah? Let's speed it up a little bit then. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, go. I did good. C sharp was I had to press on it a tiny bit, but other than that, it was really good. How did you guys do? It was still good. Didn't suffer too much because of the speed. Then let's do it again right away. Exactly the same thing, except better. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, good? Everybody doing good? Okay, great. So let's do those polkas. Let's see here. Now, polkas are fun because they're supposed to be fast. They're supposed to be extremely fast. I think I might have explained that last time, and maybe I demonstrated what the speed was supposed to be. And so, you can but they're simple. They're really simple tunes usually. Like, and these ones are no different. So you can really kind of leverage that and try to use it to get the speed up and get that, because it's good practice with this here, which we were working with the kids on today. They do this thing in Strings Across the Sky called the jiggle. And it is really good. I've been using it since with people to try to get this hand bowing happening, because that's really the way that I play fast and stuff like that. And so it's where you just jiggle your hand. So these are a great opportunity to do that kind of thing. Keep it in mind as we go along, but we're going to start slow. We're just not in a real hurry. We're going to kind of go like this. Is that going to work? I think that's a doable tempo. Okay, great. 1, 2, 3, go. One more. How are we doing with that one? Any problems or misunderstandings or anything like that?
Well, part A is really easy and part B has challenges for me.
What are the challenges?
The sharps.
The C sharps?
Mm.
Oh yeah, just forgetting?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
position.
but I should tell you, because you might not have got this, but the second C sharp in the second bar of the B part is supposed to be a D. It's a typo. Yeah, so that's a D. So that would sound really weird if you were playing a C sharp along with my D. Okay? How about the first C sharp? Is that okay? That's just kind of a scale up. Okay, that's good. All right, glad I cleared that up. Anybody else having any problems? Anything at all? No? Okay, let's do it. Let's ramp it up. Let's do it 3 or 4 times, and we're going to ramp up the speed as we go along. We'll start the same speed for poor Susan, who was playing a D with, or C sharp with my D. And then we'll start ramping it up because it'll feel great after that, Susan. You'll be like, oh, yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Again. One more. Whew. It's working? That's quite a clip. I mean, it's not quite danceable, but it's getting there. Definitely getting there. So that was okay, eh? That worked out. Okay, that's really good. Well, I want to leave it there just for now because I want to get the other one. And when we do the both of them fast, I think it'll be really fun. So let's work on Jamaica Jam now. And we're going to go a little slower with this one because it's not quite as sort of ready to the ear. Okay? All right. Sylvia wants to do Taekwondo. So that's going to be 3 activities for her and 3 activities for the boy. That's a lot of running around town. But she'd probably be excellent at Taekwondo and probably beat the crap out of her brother at some point, which would be really good. I can't see that being a bad thing. But anyway, we'll see. Okay, so Jamaica Jam. Yeah, this one is not quite as like... So... little bit more unusual melody, and then it changes key in the second part. See, that's really cool tune, but it's not quite as easy to hear. So let's go slow with it at first. Okay, 1, 2, 3. like they're trucking along just fine. Any problems?
Could you play the A part at speed? It's
Sure.
just sounding really random to me.
Yeah. He's starting to hear it. Yeah, it is definitely a bit odd. But it goes great after this first tune, and it's a real kicking tune. And it's always good to have stuff that's in B minor, because it's a really, I find it's a key that's very energetic. Okay. All right, can we go a bit faster with it? Let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. I just seem to be getting one telemarketer after another on my cell phone today. The same one too, air duct cleaning services. Like I just missed another call. It's about 5 of them in the last hour, which is pretty annoying. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and... One more! All good? That's great. All right. Now we should put them together, because we got the first one pretty well that fast too. And let's go over what the transition's going to be like. Just like that. Now I should mention that in the version that I learned, it goes like this. See that little triplet there? It's really nice. It's a G, F, E. Where there's an F, E, you just add a G, make it a little triplet. So that's really nice. It might be better for your ear. And then again, the same thing in the second time around the phrase there. You could do that again there too, if you want. This is, it's not written in stone. No tune is. But that's a really nice little thing to do, and it makes it a little easier on the ear. I can't think of anything else except in the second part. That's right, right. See that? So there in the last couple of bars, uh, uh, I play a C and a D. That would be 16th notes, I guess. And then A and a B. It's a really nice thing to do there, and that's in the version I learned off of Sean Smith's Blue Fiddle record. That's what he did. Just little added bits. Okay, so that might be fun. So anyway, shall we give it a try? Let's do them, say, 3 times each in the Irish style. Okay, 3 times each for each one. Yes, stretch out your back or whatever. Do the fiddler roll out. That's what I get the kids to do. Fiddler roll out. Get them to stop slouching down. Here, most of them are kind of like this today, you know. And it's like you work hard to get them to sit up straight and everything, but then 10 minutes later they're like that, but they're still doing it. So you just go with it. You know what I mean? As long as they're doing it, that's the important thing. It's really hard when you're teaching kids, I find, and I've always wondered this about jazz school. Like when you go to jazz school, like jazz was a situation where they gave musical instruments to people with no rules at all. And what came out of it was jazz. So then you go to jazz school, and the first thing they do is tell you all the rules. It doesn't really make sense. You know what I mean? And so the same thing with these kids. Like we're telling them, sit up straight with your feet on the floor, with your fiddle up here like this. But then if you look at a clip of, say, Winston, he looks like this. Or even if you look at a clip of, say, Frankie Gavin is like this. He's down on his knee. You know, they're all so different, and they're also, we do this because we don't like being told what to do. So we develop our own style, and I find that part of it challenging, because like what it's going to end up being, especially if one of them actually plays. They probably are going to have some different way that they do it. But at the same time, you have to encourage them to do what I call the easy way, because that's the thing. Doing all that stuff, sitting up straight and all that kind of stuff, it does make it all a lot easier. So that's what we're trying to do. Just get them to get the easy way. Anyway, yes.
I'm just curious whether you've ever tried having them stand
Oh, yeah.
while you teach.
Oh yeah, we do that a lot actually. Like and today we said, you know what? They were doing it on their own today, which was great. Really, really good. But standing is always the best. Now the problem, when I record, I generally stand. Unless I want to make use of my foot. So in my record, I wanted my foot in the record. So I sat for that record. And me and my brother came up with this piece of plywood with a rug and a microphone to get the sound of the foot nice, you know, because you have 2 choices when you're recording the fiddle. You either fight the foot, which is what we tried to do with my father, with couch cushions underneath his foot and everything else, make it silent even though they're pounding it against the floor, or you work with it. You get a good sound off of it and you make it part of the music. So that's what we decided to do. But standing is always better, except that I can't drive my foot into the floor. That's the only drawback. I have to stand. I'm good at tree pose. You wouldn't believe how good I am at tree pose, because I stand there on one leg and I pound my right foot against the floor. And the people that are in the orchestra, they know that because I do it all the time. And it's really hard on me. I mean, that's like, when I play long gigs at bars, that's really, really ends up being hard on me, is like standing on one leg most of the night. And it's always the left one. Anyway, yes, I do make them stand up. Okay, here we go. 3 times each. It's going to be this speed. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! One more. Here we go. One more. Well, everybody looked beautiful. Anybody having any problems? No? That is great. Love those tunes. It reminds me of the other polkas that we learned a long time ago. The Bally Desmond polkas. Do you guys remember those? Bally Desmond polkas. Have you ever heard of those there, Anne? No? Really? Interesting. You're going to love them. And they are probably the most popular polkas ever written ever for Irish music. That everybody plays them. Everybody knows them. It would be very good for you to get them. So I'll show you. These guys will practice and I'll send them to you here. Just
Could you
hold
send
on.
both of all of us?
Oh, sure, yeah.
I think these are the polkas that almost play themselves.
They really are easy. They're really, really easy. Okay, so let's see. Bally Desmond. Okay. Okay, just one sec here. I just gotta find them. Oh, here we go. Oh, good. Look, they got the fingering written in. Okay, hold on here. Okay, so that's Anne. The Running Magazine one. Sharon. Not Sharon, Susan. And Sue. Okay. Off it goes. That's the first one. And Bally Desmond 2. Yeah. And here's the second one. Okay. Scent. Yeah, and I'm going to download this version. Now, I'm going to play these for you guys so you can see what it's like. And yes, these are, when I lived down in the States, this was like every session I went to was mostly people playing these tunes that I can hear it. That's where I got them down in the States. And they're great. They're awesome. They're also the polkas that my friends Brian and Ina, who don't like playing polkas, they always play these ones. They don't seem to mind these ones. Okay, just got to size it so I can see both of them at the same time. There we go. These look written out by me. Must have been a long time ago because it says unnamed treble staff, which is what our music writing software used to say every time I wrote out a tune. I still don't know why. But anyway, so looks like I wrote these out long time ago. Okay, let me play them for you. Aren't they great? Never get tired of them. Great tunes. All right, everybody, the people that have heard of them, you remember them? Yeah? Not too far off, eh? Well, that's great. Okay, well, let's give it a try. And we're just going to go nice and slow there. And don't worry. Don't be alarmed. Nice and slow. Now, these are a little bit busier than the other ones, but they're no more complicated, really. Just a few more notes, but very simple musical ideas. Anyway, let's just go real slow, see if Anne can read along while we're practicing, okay? So far, so good with the played in the motel. Nobody seems to be complaining, especially since to get the good, solid Ethernet signal, I just ran the 100-foot Ethernet cable that I used to stream the concert on Sunday out to the modem in the hallway. It's working great. Okay, let's go slow. Ready, go. more. Just gonna check in. How are we doing? No problems? How you doing, Ann? You getting them? Getting it?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Okay, no problems? Great. Okay, let's take a look at the second one then. Now, the second one starts off so nice with those two big long notes, the C and the B. And when I play them, I play big double stops on them. I play a C and an E at the same time. And then I play a B and a D. See that? And then I play a fourth at the top, but that's a hard one. But anyway, so that's what I do there. But let's just go slow and just get the melody back, okay? 1, 2, 3, go. And how are we feeling? Is it working? Coming back to you guys? And coming to your hand there, Ann? That is great. Okay, well, let's join them together. Speed it up slightly, just a little tiny bit. I think you can withstand it.
I can't see them both at the same time, though. Because
Oh.
they're two different documents.
Okay. Well, you could just kind of drop out just before the best way to deal with that, like with a page turn, is to drop out a little bit early of the first tune so that you can start the second tune, because because we're going to do them like 3 times each. So that means you've had lots of good practice with the first one, and the most important thing about practicing a tune is the start, right?
Yeah.
So that's a way better way to do it, okay? So just drop out of the last A part, switch your music, come in like a cannon on Bally Desmond 2. Okay, so kind of like this. I think we can do it. Let's do it. It's going to feel great. I love polkas. What a great feel. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go! One more. One more. Yeah. Everybody looked great there. How was that? Did it work out? Did you have any serious problems or setbacks or calamities? You were a little late there to your page turn in, but you did good. Still did pretty good.
Thanks.
It's like Brian, my friend Brian in my band. He uses capos a lot because he plays in this open tuning, right? So he has to use capos. He has two of them on hand, usually all the time. They're sitting on the table. He grabs one and has to slap. Sometimes he's got two on there, and it's really great. I love that. So say we're playing something in the key of E minor, and then the next tune we're going to play is in the key of D. So we'll have two capos on there, right? And we'll get finished the playing the one in E minor, and he'll flick it off because they're the kind you just use your thumb and you flick a little lever and they come off. And then he's get down to the one in the key of D. See that? And it's a great effect because when he does that, first of all, it's really big, makes the guitar sound bigger. And second of all, right after you start the next tune, the capo hits the floor. So it's kind of like a, which is really cool. But anyway, so he's often late to his capo changes as well. Very, very often late to his capo changes. Not to mention a lot of other things in his life as well. Anyway, that's great. Now, nobody's bothered me, so I don't see why we can't keep going. Why don't we do a slow one? How about, what's the last slow one that we did? Can somebody tell me and remind me?
We were doing the Huntington Castle.
Oh, lovely. Yes. Very good. Oh, and we were doing the Warlocks too, right? Okay, let's do that. Okay. I'm just going to get them up because I don't trust myself. Huntington Castle. Oh, yeah.
I'm failing because of my shoulder, but I'm going to keep listening.
Oh, okay. Your shoulder sore? That sucks. One of the orchestra members had to bail for months actually because her shoulder was really, really hurting her. She was a guitar player, Jackie, and she couldn't get the arm over the guitar anymore. It just was not happening. And then so she did some physio, but then one of the other guitar players, Grant, loaned her this tiny little guitar and with a very thin body. She said it made all the difference. It was like easier to get the arm over and had no pain at all, which is really great. She's a strong player.
The pain comes when the MRT start doing that tensor release. You know,
Oh, yeah. My wife loves that. I have to go and do that.
Maybe I wear a mask when I go because the words are there.
Yeah, masks were good for some things, hey? Okay. All right, this is great. So we're doing the Huntington and then the Warlocks, and we'll have to think of some reels to go after it. But for now, let's just do those two. Let's work on Huntington first. We'll just play it. It's not hard, but we'll play it a few times. And if anybody wants to play, let's do it. Let's do it like 3 times. And if anybody wants to try playing the harmony part that's written out underneath it, you might have a lot of fun doing that, okay? We'll see. And it's such good practice for everybody to do that. Try to fit in with me. Anyway, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. one more with the harmony, maybe. Oh, love that tune. How do we do? Everybody doing okay? Yeah, did you try the harmony?
I tried the harmony the second time around.
How was it?
For the most part, I got a little muddled, but I was able to get back on track.
Oh yeah? Yeah. Harmony can be tricky because you're interlocking between
Yeah.
the lead part and what you're supposed to play, and sometimes it's intuitive, other times it's not so intuitive, and you have to kind of wait, and I will tell you though, 90% of the time, if you are having trouble fitting together with me, you're probably cutting things off and jumping ahead a little bit, especially with slow airs. It's a very common thing.
Yeah, I think that's what actually was happening. I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah. And counting is good. Yeah, but when you're playing with harmony, it's just to listen to the other person. So like you're playing that long B and I'm playing an E F E, right?
Yeah.
And so you wait for that to go by all the way before you move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get all kinds of cues when you're playing with somebody. You get all kinds of cues from them that you don't even nonverbal communication is what they call it, and you get used to it. Me and my brothers and my dad, we were very tight in that way. I would know exactly when he was going to move on just by the way he'd move his shoulder, right? I know that he's getting ready to move on. And I remember that, like everybody I played with, I've always looked for those signs. Like the guy I played with down in the States, he was notorious. His name was Jerome Freeman. He called himself Hawk, and he played 12-string guitar and sang beautifully. Amazing guy. But he always mixed up his tunes. Like he just never played the tune the same way twice. Always different. And there was no way you could keep track of it except to just watch for these cues. So it was the way that he moved his head because I was behind him. So, and he always wore this hat, so I'd see the hat move in a certain way. I knew what we were gonna do and when. You know what I mean? And that's you gotta do that with the harmonies. Okay, well let's try the Warlocks, shall we? Give it a go. I gotta say, I don't know if I have any neighbors. I mean, this is the middle of nowhere. There might not be anybody next to me at all. Okay. Okay, now so let's not go too fast. We'll ramp it up as we go. 1, 2, 3. How we doing? Dots and dashes are a little bit daunting, I know. Doing okay for the most part? Don't sweat them too much. Like I said, people mess around with them a lot, so you might hear different versions, and that's totally okay. Anything you have a problem with before we try it a little bit faster?
I don't know if I can. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if I can go much faster on this one.
No? What might happen?
What did you say? Bad things. Bad things will happen.
Bad things will happen.
I just need another little bit at that speed.
Well, let's do it then. Let's do the same speed. Let's grind it a few more times. I'll do it all day, man. No problem at all. I actually have no problem with down tempo at all. You can always find a groove no matter what tempo you're going. You just got to wait for that pocket. So no problem here. We'll do it slow. 1, 2, 3. Keep going. A little faster. Last time. faster. Is it okay?
Dan,
Yep.
in the B part, the second bar of the second bar's in on both the last line and the line before it. Like, do you keep your three on the A and the D at the same time, or like?
Yes.
How to play that?
Have you ever done those? When you put one finger on two strings?
I mean, mostly just like in the A part with the one on the B and the E, but
Yeah.
not
It's
so
in
much
with the
with the third.
third. It's an extremely good thing to practice. And they're called fifths because when you put one finger, like your strings are tuned in fifths. Do you know what that means? Have you heard that before? Yeah, five.
I never really thought of it, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, 5 notes apart, right? So, and that's the fiddle interval. That's like what the fiddle is based around. And when you play a fifth, when you put one finger on two strings, you're making another fifth, just different notes, right? Now, the hard thing about it is that the fifth is a perfect interval, meaning that can't be major or minor. It can only be perfect. So it's a little bit unforgiving with the intonation because a fifth is either in tune or out of tune. That's it. There's no finessing there. So it's really good to practice them. Really, really good. The first finger ones are the easiest. The third finger ones I would put down as being the second easiest. And the second finger ones I find are the hardest to get in tune. Now, the second finger ones you don't use near as much, but you do here and there have to use the second finger one. But the third, I can think of 100 tunes off the top of my head where you got to roll that third finger over. When I do it, like in this tune, that's it there. And you can see my fingers slanted. Whoops. See that? Slanted across the fingerboard. If it was straight across, it wouldn't be in tune. Okay? So that's the way I hit those. See that? And there's so many tunes. See that? So good to practice that. Now, we used to do double stops. We'll have to get back into practicing double stops. We used to do them every class, really. But we only had a couple of perfect ones in there because they are difficult to do. And I would suggest doing them a little bit at a time. Working on the fifth. And work on it as a double stop, even though when you use it in a tune, you're rolling back and forth, right? So it's not necessarily a double stop. But if you master that, you'll find that that move is so much easier if you actually know where that double stop is. You see what I mean? So that's what you do there. And yes, I do that all the time. Like when possible, you put your finger down on two strings. It's usually going to take care of a good bar of melody. Okay? Well, next time we'll work on them specifically, those double stops. Be really, really good.
Doing it right at the beginning too, in that.
Oh, yeah.
That B and was that B and E there, right on that very first bar.
Yeah.
First part, right?
Absolutely, yes. Anything in the key of E minor, I plunk that first finger down on the D and the A, and that's half the tune. And this is no different. This tune is no different. Like you get that finger down there, and the rest of it is just a little bit of a, That's what people asked about how you play fast, and that's how it is. You find out where you can leave your fingers down. You put a certain shape of your hand there to cover most of the notes, and then it's just like a little nudge and a push, and that's the tune. See what I mean? So yes, I do. It's really, really good to do that there. Should we practice it 2 more times with that in mind? With the finger on the 2 strings, see if we can get that a little stronger? And then we'll call it a night. I think I'm pushing my luck, but I'm really doing great here. Okay. And that's definitely the first one you should practice is the first finger. That's the hardest one there is the B minor one, A1 and E1. I have to do kind of a different move for that one because the E is so sensitive. But anyway, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, how did that go with the finger action? Is it working? A bit?
A
A
bit.
bit. Yeah.
We'll work on it.
Now, one thing I forgot to mention about working on fifths is that a fifth doesn't care what note it starts on. So you want to make sure that your bottom note is in tune. I'll show you what I mean. So here's a double stop. That's an E minor double stop. See my first finger on the two strings. Now listen to this. It's sharp, but it's still in tune with itself. You see what I mean? So the bottom note is really sharp. But you can make that in tune with itself. So you got to make sure that you're listening to the right thing. You got to make sure that, well, usually the bottom note, I always say that you got to make sure one of them is telling the truth. But it's best to check on the bottom one because that's your foundation. And then you can count up with your ear from there. Do you see what I mean by that? Yeah. So do a quick check and make sure that you're not tuning something that's out of tune without knowing it. Okay? Anyway, that was a really good workout there tonight. And we'll get some reels to go after the warlocks. I'll show you what my family used to do. So that's called the youngest daughter. And then we used to do, no, sorry, that's the 9-pint coggy. So, oh, this is the youngest daughter. That's the youngest daughter. And then we used to do a great tune, and it's in the key of E major, which is unusual for us fiddle players. But it's a great tune called Malcolm Finley. Great tune, very cheerful tune. And it was written in the key of E. Now the problem with the key of E is that it's got 4 sharps, and that means that we can't touch our D string, right? Because D is supposed to be sharp. It's a real pain. And also on the A string, you got to stretch the 3rd finger. When do you ever stretch the 3rd finger on the A string? Never, right? So that's why it's such a pain. So this guy in Scotland, the turn of the century, he wrote all these E major tunes that just don't have any Ds. And this is one of them. They just don't have any, so to be a problem. And it's great because you can use that uplift to the key of E, which is very uplifting. I'm sure you noticed that. It's a very bright, sunny key, right? Without the problem of the D sharp. So leave it to the Scottish, eh? The Scotsman's never stuck. Figure out a way to play an E with no Ds. Anyway, thanks a million. We'll work on those next time. Have a good week, guys.
Thanks, Dad.
Night.